Day. Today being, I think that should be the 24th day of the month of May, the year of our Lord 2025. Welcome to the Afia Sports Show. Afia, home of sports on Afia TV. The frequencies have not changed, they still remain the same. Channel 254 on DSTV, Channel 17 on GoTV, and Channel 748 on Free TV. Welcome to the show, guys, where we have the best in sports delivered to you right in your studios and right in your homes and your parlors. It's good to be here this weekend. My name is Chedozie Metebe, that's CC the Rabbi, and of course I'm not doing this alone. In this wonderful set on this wonderful day, we have the guys here who are going to join us to break down all that is all about sports here. I have somebody that you know very well. Some of you don't know that he's a sports enthusiast himself, so he's with us on the show. I'm referring to none other than Choko the Dark Child here today.
Morning, Sissy. Thank you for having me.
It's great to be here.
Yes, feels so good as well, and feels so new. It's been a long time I actually did this. Yeah, my days as as a training sports anchor like you. Yeah, but it's all good, and it feels good to be here.
Yeah, like a friend of mine said once, if you didn't day, you didn't day.
It didn't day.
So it's
yeah, but it did.
Day.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful day. No? It's more like tit for tat. Remember the Europa League final was featured on your show. I talking about Europa League final.
On radio.
Yeah, radio.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I almost got queried for that because I was over rejoicing.
And we know the reason.
You know the reason why. Yeah. So, but it's all good. Big ups to Manchester United fans. They celebrated over the week, and they might still celebrate tomorrow as well. Yeah, but let's just wait for that.
I want to assume you pick up a hint of sarcasm there. But more about that. As we move to the touch screen where we have the usual co-host, also the priest of football and also the priest of every other thing in sports, Emeka Madueke at the touch screen. Emeka, good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Right, it's great. So we're going straight into the package for today. And we will be looking at different things right now. The NPFL, Nigerian Premier Football League, is at its last stretch, and that's the last game, match week 38. We already have a league winner, Remo Stars, the first team that is privately owned to win since Julius Berger in the year 2000. They've already won that. It's sealed, done, and dusted. We already know who's going to the CAF Champions League qualifying round next to them. That's Rivers United. And then we also know that Imam Amakakabo has done a fantastic job with Abia Warriors, and they are third. So they are definitely going to qualify. They are going to go for the qualifying round, rather for the CAF Confederations Cup. But what we do not know for certain is who will join the Stars. The Stars that have been beating Black and Blue, and now they're seeing Stars, referring to Lobby Stars and Sunshine Stars. That's why there's a relegation dogfight. And that leads us to the table in the NPFL. The fixtures for today, for this weekend rather, the NPFL games that are kicking off tomorrow. We're going to know who is going down. Is it Heartland FC? Is it, Naija United? Who is it going to be? Who will join these two unfortunate clubs? And that's where we're going to the priest of football right now. Emeka, what do you have for us?
All right, on the table here, we have, as you've stated, the champions, Remo Stars, sitting comfortably on top with 10 points. Rivers United in the CAF Champions League spots there. Abia Warriors following them behind. Ikwedu Boys, 4th place. 5th place, Bender Insurance. Aimbal in 6th place. 7th place, Kano Pillars. And the champions of last season, Enugu Rangers in 8th, Naija United in 9th, 10th place Plateau United, 11th place Shooting Stars, 12th Kwara United, 13th place Bayelsa United, Niger Tornadoes in 14th, 15th place Katsina United, 16th El Kenami Warriors. And in the relegation zone, Heartland FC starts that list, Accra United and Sunshine Stars and the Basement Boys, Lobby Stars.
Okay, well, just let's hold on to that table. I'm going to bring in Choko here because there are two things I want to point out regarding the table.
All right.
For instance, you see, Enugu Rangers shot themselves in the foot on two fronts. First of all, not being ready to defend the title. Probably you could say it's a blend of them being a bit weaker, considerably weaker this season than they were last season. And then, of course, the strengthening of the teams around them. Remo Stars have been very consistent. Rivers United, very consistent. Abia Warriors have been one of the surprise packages, which is why they're rightly in third position. But beyond that, they had one opportunity, that's Rangers, to salvage their season. But they missed out on that opportunity against Kwara United in the President's Federation Cup, where they were knocked out. And then we have instead Abakaliki FC in the final against Kwara United.
Yeah.
So that would have been an opportunity for Rangers to get into the CAF discussion, that is the CAF Confederations Cup discussion. That's the first thing we want to talk about. How low have Rangers fallen this season And why do we have a reason? I want to assume, since we're here in 042 and we are lovers of Enugu Rangers, why should we be disappointed at the season so far?
Well, I think we should be disappointed because, Rangers sort of like gave us hope. Last season, we saw them, should I say, come from nowhere, like we love to say, and clinching the title as well. We had so many huge expectations for this team. This team who, should I say, so much was invested, got a new manager. Everything was working perfectly well for Rangers International, only for them to come this season and we're seeing what we're seeing. It's really, really disappointing, even though you might still say this season a whole lot is going down. I'm not just saying in the Nigerian Professional or Premier Football League. I'm still talking about, outside the shores of Nigeria, international football league. We're seeing teams that have not won a title in how many years come to win titles as well. So it's just like there's this sudden wave that's going around and it's spreading around, and the teams that used to do well are not really doing well, But it's no excuse for Rangers International, though. I think I saw a report by their manager, Fidelis Ilechukwu, who actually come out to blame their poor season to, I think, injuries, which I do not. I think that should not be an excuse.
The workman blaming his team.
Because if you had, it's more like that's why so many persons will have an issue with Pep Guardiola when he would come out and tell you his players are this and his players are that. Then they now tell you, okay, what if they had won? This league, would he have come out? Would he have heard that part that my players were out injured? Yeah, so if you're having a bad season, you're having a bad season. I guess there's no one to be blamed rather than blame themselves. Because if you say injuries, there are still other players who are there. And they are being paid, And like a friend of mine would say, not the 11-11 they be. 11 men playing against 11 men. So if you say this person is out injured, another man replaces that guy. And you pay this guy, you sign this guy. We all jubilated when this person was signed. But at the end of the day, you can't keep giving excuses. You had a bad season, you had a bad season. I think what's left for them is actually to know exactly what happened, what led to this, why do we have this, why do we have this, and then find a way to sort it out.
Okay, now fantastic points you've raised there. Even though I might just add briefly that there's a difference between replacements and adequate replacements. I think that's the angle that Fidelis Ilechukwu is probably coming from. Yeah. I'm going to Emeka on this. On the touch screen, so there's some things you will show us there. For instance, we talked about the fact that Remo Stars and Rivers United, by virtue of being the champions and the runners-up respectively, have an automatic berth to the qualifying round for the CAF Champions League. Yes. Then Afia Warriors have an automatic berth to the qualifying round for the CAF Confederations Cup. That is a known deal. So there's one more slot for qualifying for the CAF Confederations Cup, and that's usually given to the Federation Cup winners. Now, last season, the Federation Cup winners were El Kanemi Warriors, and they came from the NNL and got into the NPFL. I'll need to verify where Abakaliki FC is right now, whether they gain promotion, whether they are on the verge of getting promotion to the NPFL from the NNL. Right. But we have an opportunity, no disrespect to Kara United, because they are still a formidable side. Looking at them on the table, they are 12th on the log. Yeah. They don't have a chance of qualifying through the league. It's very, very certain. But through the Federations Cup, they have a chance. But Abakaliki FC have been a surprise story so far, knocking out, I think that was Ikorodu FC.
Oga Boys.
Yes, the Oga Boys. They knocked them out there, and then now here they are. Do you think we might see another situation where an NNL side, when I say NNL side, I mean NNL in the season that the cup in question is won, an NNL side gets to the continent, second tier of the continent, which is the Confederations Cup, like we saw before with El Kanemi Warriors? What chances would you give our neighbors? Because Ebonyi State is just is close, is very, very close proximity at the back door of Enugu. So what's your take?
Well, it's not a surprise. We've seen it before, like you mentioned. Benin Insurance did it. And if you play your ball well and you play to tactics and you win your match, you will deserve a chance to play in the Confederations Cup. So it's down to them. Do they want it? Do they have the hunger? Do they have the drive? The manager has to keep his boys red hot and see what happens. But no discredits to Korea United as well.
Yeah, 12th
it's anyone's game, really.
Okay, so we're going straight to the next point there. No, you said the right thing there. You pointed out what is obvious. Any team that gets to the final deserves to be there. That's the reality on ground. Any place you find, even if you're assumed to have fluked your way to that final, the fact is that you got there. What about the others doing? Can't you leverage on your flukes? But We're looking at for instance, look at the fixtures for round of 38, the last games of the season so far. Enyimba are going to be playing against Plateau United. Now, all these games are going to be played tomorrow, Sunday, same time, 4 p.m. So, Plateau United are visiting Enyimba, and then Shooting Stars of Ibadan will be hosting Enugu Rangers, two very solid sides in terms of pedigree, but have been very, very disappointing so far this season. Benga Umubo to the Oracle, leading Shooting Stars, this is a season to forget for him. Likewise, Fides Ilechukwu leading Enugu Rangers. Bayelsa United will be hosting the champions, Remo Stars, who will want to increase their points tally and end on a high. Bayelsa United will be hosting, that's Bayelsa United I mentioned. Rivers United will be hosting Nassau United, the battle of two Uniteds, but they are not the United in a struggle because one of them are the runners-up, the other, their relegation is still in a relegation dogfight. You have Lobby Stars, relegated Lobby Stars against Bendel Insurance, who are also in danger of the relegation quagmire. You have Niger Tornadoes against Kano Pillars. That is a northern derby there. And then Katsina United against Kwara United. That's a very important game we need to look at. Then Heartland of Owerri are hosting Akwa United. Heartland, who escaped last season because of the berth that they picked from Beyond Limits. I won't see how they got it. I don't know how they got it. They say that it was given. Some say that it was taken. Make of that what you will, but they got that berth. Would they avoid that and avoid the drop here? They would need to do it against Akwa United. Then Ikorodu City will be hosting Abia Warriors. El Kanemi Warriors will be hosting Sunshine Stars, already relegated Sunshine Stars. So, as it stands right now, we are looking at the relegation battle. The teams that are in the relegation zone, Heartland are 17th on the log with 45 points. Akwa United, 18th on the log with 44 points. Sunshine Stars and Lobby Stars are already gone down. So forget about those two. Now, this is a relegation 6-pointer. One of the games there, Heartland against Akwa United, is a relegation 6-pointer. Mm-hmm. Both teams cannot afford to draw the game. Mm-hmm. They can't afford to, especially Heartland, who have home advantage. El Kanemi Warriors are in the mix too. Katsina United are in the mix. Niger Tornadoes are in the mix. It's safe to say that Bayelsa United also. Yes. That's it. Katsina United. Bayelsa United have escaped because they have 49 points. And no team that is in the relegation zone can get up to 49 points. So, as it stands right now, what's your take concerning this relegation dogfight? Who's going down? We have two teams that have gone down, the Stars, but we have two other teams that will join them to the NNL. Who's going down?
Well, like I said the other time, last Saturday when we were discussing this topic, I said I do see Heartland edging it and escaping from the relegation zone. Well, I also said that El Kanemi Warriors might escape, but given their last result, it doesn't seem like they had enough fight in them to say that they want to stay up in the NPFL. I just believe just maybe, El Kanemi Warriors might be going back to the NNL. I just believe that's what might happen on the final day.
Anyways, well, for me though, I think one team I'm disappointed, even seen in that relegation zone, is I think Akwa United. Yes, because
they did have a good start.
If I'm not mistaken, I think 2 seasons back, these guys were on fire.
Yes, they were.
2-3 seasons back, they were actually on fire. They were actually, you hardly go to your stadium and get a point from them, But then all of a sudden, it's shocking to see. But then it's football, and this is not throwing shades, but Manchester United is there, who are in a shocking position as well.
You just had to do that.
So anything can actually happen in football. So yeah, but then if I'm actually rooting for a team, I think I would be rooting for Akwa United, even though it seems they have a very slim chance of actually making it.
Okay, I think that's enough for the NPFL for now. We'll see, they'll slug it out tomorrow, and we wish them the best of luck and hope that they'll be able to leverage on their home form, the teams that have home advantage, and then those who want it more will get it. As we move very quickly to the Nigerian National Sports Festival, the Gateway Games, the 22nd National Sports Festival, taking place in Abeokuta in Ogun State. That's the host city of the National Sports Festival. And then we, of course, have neighboring towns like Remo, Shagamu, Ikene. I know they are there. So we are we're in day 6 of the National Sports Festival. And Team Delta are topping the log. We'll look at the table right now. In terms of the medals, the medal table, Emeka will show us the tables right now. And we have the Gateway Games 2024. Now, of course, we're in 2025, but The games are 2024 games, a celebration beyond sports. And we have the medal table there, the top 10. Take it away, Emeka.
Delta sits on first place, 64 points. Bayelsa in second place, 61. Rivers with 40 points in third place. Ogun in fourth with 42 points. Oyo in fifth with 37. Lagos in sixth with 37 equally. Osun with 12 points in seventh place. Eighth place, Edo with 72 or 74, 74 points. Akwa Ibom with 8 points, and Plateau United last place in 10th.
Yeah, for the record, the points in question, that's the total number of medals. But the total number of medals doesn't guarantee your stand. It is the gold is of higher value. Because, for instance, you have Delta who share the same number of medals with Edo, but one is first, second, the other one is eighth. Because the Delta have 34 gold medals, Edo have 8 gold medals. I mean, so go figure. See how it is. We're hoping, as the days are passing, that one southeastern state will pop up. We want a pop up. We want 042 to pop up for crying out loud. I mean, no. You know why I'm saying this? Enugu cannot afford to not pop up to the top 10 because first of all, we have a very dynamic governor here who is sports loving, who believes in the development of every sector. We've seen that it's not just about the international marathon that took place some weeks back, but the fact that he's deliberate, he's intentional. That I'm referring to His Excellency, Barrister Dr. Peter Ndubisimba. He's deliberate about making sure that every sector in Enugu State works. And also the added advantage there, the added incentive there for them to get to a higher place in the medals table is to ensure that that Enugu has the right pedigree, showing that we have the right pedigree, because the next National Sports Festival will be hosted by Enugu, and that's next year. So really, there is a big reason why Enugu has to move very fast up that medal table.
Yeah. It's crazy because I think 2 days back, I was up working. I think it was Jones who was sitting behind. The next thing he asked me, Choko, Enugu no come this sports festival. I said, why? He said, because I didn't look, I didn't see anything Enugu, for table or anything. It's really, and I think I was listening to your sports show on radio the other day where you mentioned the fact that I think they actually came late.
Yeah, they came late.
Yeah, they came late for a particular
handball event, and it was actually they were already in Ogun State, but because they were staying in Babcock University, and then they were transiting, that transport arrangement, moving from there to Abeokuta proper. They got there late, and the first match of their group was meant to start by 9. Yeah. So as a result of their late coming, they forfeited the game, and it was a walkover. Yeah. And Edo benefited from that. That was a technical issue.
Technical. When you say technical, I don't get it. Yes, they were. It's not like they were not in the city. They were in the city, and you have a game by 9 per se. I mean, you should do everything possible to be there before 9.
Maybe some players were purging, I don't know.
Purging by what time did they start purging? I mean, you can start purging early, or purging the boss or something like that. But these are the kind of excuses we don't want to hear. These are the kind of, you can never see a premiership team come and tell you, yes, you might say it's too far off, but then, I mean, we should relate it, because if we're starting from somewhere, we're aiming to get somewhere, then we should start doing it right from the very beginning. Now, you can't say you have a game, and then you have a game by 9, and you're arriving very late, to the point they had to wait for extra minutes, and still you didn't come before it resulted to a walkover. So I think these are the things, I think we would blame it on seriousness. For me, that is what I would say, because let's look at these players. They've trained for this thing. They want to do this thing. And at the end of the day, we're having this kind of issues. It's crazy. And like you said, we are hoping and praying for the day where a southeastern state will pop up. Yes.
Yeah,
that's the word.
Yeah, that's the word, really. And I think if only life was all about vibes and inshallah, but we need to go beyond that. And let's go very, very quickly to the next point before we go on a short break. We're talking about the Unity Cup that's coming up. Now, the Unity Cup is the next thing. It's coming up next week. The Unity Cup, that is a mini tournament between. There are 4 teams that are involved in that mini tournament, and it's going to be hosted by the Brentford City Stadium, which is the GTEC Community Stadium in London. And you will have 4 teams clashing against each other. The first match is going to be between the Soca Boys of Trinidad and Tobago, and then, of course, their Caribbean rivals, the Reggae Boys of Jamaica. And then we're going to have a Jollof Derby. Who doesn't love Jollof Derby? Chale, our market. Talking about Nigeria up against Ghana, the Super Eagles of Nigeria against the Black Stars of Ghana. And that's going to happen the next day. That should be the 28th of May. All this is happening next week. And the winners of both ties are going to come up against each other in the final of the Unity Cup. And that's going to be a big opportunity for Eric Sekuchel, the Malian coach, Gaffer of Nigeria, of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, to have the right squad ahead of the remaining World Cup qualifiers in September and October. And then we have the team, the squad list. We just mentioned the squad list before we move off. Goalkeeping department, you have, of course, Stanley Nwabali is there, and Maduka Okoye and Amasa Obasoje. These are the players that you have there. And then the defenders, Emeka will do justice to that, just show us on the table.
For the defenders list, we do have Bruno Onyemechi in the lineup. We have Ajayi coming into that. We have Ifeanyi Onyebuchi. We have Unduka coming into the lineup. We have Sadiq Ismaila. We have Ojeyote and Felix Agu coming into the lineup. For midfield, we have Wilfred Ndidi, Frank Onyeka, Christantos Uche, Papa Mustafa, Collins Ugweze, and Xavier Isaac coming into the midfield lineup there.
Okay, and then, of course, the forward line. I think, Choko, please help us with the forward line.
Okay, to the forwards, I can see Samuel Chukwueze, Moses Simon, there's Kelechi Iheanacho, there's Nathan Teller, there's Cyril Dezas, there's Tolu Arokodare, there's Musa Ahmed, Sikiru Alimi, and Abubakar Adamu as well. Okay,
I'll just say, I think it's safe to say that we're on the same page when we say that this squad is okay. It could have been better. There was one or two inclusions. Like, I personally would have loved to see Anas Yusuf on that list. Yeah. He's the hitman, the top marksman in the NPFL. And I don't see why the top marksman in the NPFL shouldn't be there. Yeah, as an Enugu, based in Enugu here, Rangers, with the Rangers bias, I'm glad to see that there are 3 Rangers players there, particularly that's Ifeanyi Onyebuchi and Isaac Xavier. Isaac Xavier has been phenomenal in that midfield. So you're looking at that. And you can see the top scorers as a match day 37 in the NPFL. Anas Yusuf, who is battling relegation with his club. If Nassau United escape relegation, Anas Yusuf is largely responsible for that because he scored 18 goals in the NPFL. And of course, the others beneath him are Antoine Ijoma, who is with 12 goals. Likewise, Shola Adelani and Rabiu Ali, or the mercurial midfielder of, say, Meshigida, that's Kano Pillars, and then Son Emego, 11 goals, and Ahmed Musa. Imagine the governor has 10 goals, double digits. So really, that's wonderful, but that's my own misgiving concerning the list, amongst other things. We'll let's reserve our reactions till later. We'll go on a very, very short break, and then when we return, we're going straight to Europe because of time. There's a lot to talk about. We have some champions. They are the champions. And then also champions-elect and champions-to-be. Who are the champions? Who are the will-be champions? Who are the pretender champions? Who are the contender champions? All that when we come back from this break, Stick around. Don't touch that dial. To the Afia Sports Show, Afia Home of Sports on Afia TV. Of course, the frequencies still remain the same. Channel 254 on DSTV, Channel 17 on GoTV, and Channel 748 on Free TV. And also, good news for those who haven't heard about that, we are running a simulcast as we speak because you can hear us live on Afia Radio, Afia 99.3. Key into the frequency there, Afia 99.3. And you can hear us right now live and direct. So if you're near a radio, just go ahead, tune in. Don't just tune it to 99.3 and you can listen to us right now live, giving you information concerning sports. I remain CC the Rabbi, and of course we have Choko the Dark Child and Emeka Madueke, the priest of football, right here at the screen. And we've arrived in Europe. My jet just landed. It's my jet. You guys, I just give you a lift. And we're here in Europe and we're talking about what's going down. A lot has already gone down, but there are still some battles. We know that in England, in the English Premier League, Liverpool have already been crowned as champions of England. It's already a known thing. They picked their 20th top flight title and second Premier League title. They've done that. We know that Arsenal Football Club have qualified for the Champions League. So the worst that they can finish, which is even hypothetical, is third. If Man City do something disastrous against Fulham and Arsenal suffer something disastrous against Southampton tomorrow. But as it is right now, there is a Champions League battle. And then let's look at the fixtures, first of all, as we enumerate the battle First of all, you have Fulham. Okay, first we have Bournemouth against Leicester City. They're all playing by 4 p.m. All the games by 4 p.m. So Bournemouth, Leicester City, Fulham against Man City, hosting Man City. Ipswich are hosting West Ham United. Liverpool, champions, are hosting Crystal Palace. Manchester United are hosting Aston Villa. Newcastle United hosting Everton. Nottingham Forest hosting Chelsea. Now that is the Champions League qualifying 6-pointer. Southampton, relegated of course, are hosting Arsenal. Spurs, the Europa League champions, let it enter into people's ears, are hosting Brighton and Hove Albion, and then Wolverhampton Wanderers are hosting Brentford. Those are the fixtures now. Now, the only fixtures that concern us, the only fixtures. Let's look there. So, Emeka, over to you.
All right, so this is the scenario going to the last day. If you win as Man City now, if Man City wins, the highest they can finish is second place, pushing Arsenal down into third. If they draw or lose, they finish fourth or fifth. Now, for Newcastle, the best they can finish is also second. Oh, rather,
No, they
third.
can't. They can't finish second.
Rather, they finish third with 3 points, which would leave them on 69 points on the last day. If City do lose, they finish above City on the last day. If they lose their match or draw, Chelsea could finish above them with a good result.
Okay, there's a dynamic here I want to, there's a slight adjustment I need to make. I think is a correction. First of all, Arsenal cannot finish below third. And the only reason Arsenal can finish third is if Man City win by a heavy scoreline. Because as it is right now, Arsenal have scored 67 goals and have conceded 33 goals, which means they have a plus 34 goal difference with 71 points. Man City have scored 70 goals and conceded 44 goals, which means they have a plus 26 goal difference. So there's an 8 goal swing. That is 8 goals, the goal difference, gap. So assuming, now this is just a hypothetical assumption, assuming Arsenal, for instance, not likely, but for instance, assuming Arsenal lose, because the only way this can be a discussion is if Arsenal lose, first of all. Then if you check the margin, if Arsenal lose to Southampton by, say, 2 goals, a 2-goal margin, that will cut down Arsenal's GD to 32. Now, Man City's GD is 26, which means Man City has to travel to Craven Cottage and thrash Fulham by 7 goals or so, which will push them. By 7 goals, will push them, 7 goals will then push them to a plus 33. Which is enough to give them. All this is just calculation.
That's even if Arsenal lose.
That's what I'm saying. Just the hypothetical situation. Yeah. So the best Man City can finish is second, if that happens. That's second. But what Man City need to do to secure Champions League place is win against Fulham. That's all. And that will guarantee them third. It will guarantee them third at least. So I think we should get Man City.
Fulham also need the 3 points to get themselves into Europe as well.
Yeah, so it's not. That's why I say it's not a pushover. It's something that they'll need to work on very hard on. But you're looking at Newcastle United against Chelsea. Now that is the main issue.
Newcastle do host Everton.
Okay, sorry, Newcastle Everton. I beg your pardon. Yes, Everton. That now Chelsea, Nottingham Forest. Now, if you look at that. There are 3 teams that are on 66 points, Newcastle United, Chelsea, and Aston Villa. Now, the goal difference, I just want to mention the goal difference. You're looking at, first of all, Newcastle United, who have scored 68 goals and conceded 46, which means they have a goal difference of plus 22. Then Chelsea have scored 63 goals, conceded 43 goals, a goal difference of plus 20. Then Aston Villa have scored 58 goals and conceded 49. That's a goal difference of plus 9. So, let's be realistic and say that this slugfest is technically between Newcastle United and Chelsea regarding who will finish fourth. Yeah. So because of the closeness of their goal difference, their GD, 22 as opposed to 20. That's, for me, that's the main discussion regarding who is going to qualify fourth. Now, luckily for the crew, there's a 5th spot. And that's where the likes of Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest have hope. That's where they can actually measure. Because Nottingham Forest have 65 points. That's just 1 point shy of the other 3 that we mentioned there. But their goal difference, they've scored 58 goals and conceded 45 goals, which is a plus 7 goal difference. So in my own opinion, I could be wrong. If things go well, I would say that Newcastle United and Chelsea, who is hosting who? Need to just verify.
Nottingham Forest
is hosting Chelsea. Even Forest. Chelsea have it all to do. But Newcastle United have a big advantage. They have a bigger advantage
Home
than
advantage over Everton.
yeah. So I'm throwing this to the guys. Let's look at this carefully.
Well, I think it's still very much open. I think anyone can still qualify from this. I mean, I think what Manchester City should be, first of all, concerned about is not even getting 7-8 goals. Just win your game.
Just qualify.
That's all. Just win your game and move over. Also, Arsenal, yes, already in a safe zone. But then we're looking at these fixtures. Newcastle United up against Everton. I mean, we shouldn't look down on Everton. You know, it's
The mosaic has come back. Remember?
Everton. So it's like there's a new Everton than what we used to witness a few months back. So these guys are coming like wildfire, and they would want to maintain that pace. It's the last game of the season for them, so they want to prove to their fans that these things you guys have been seeing is not by mistake. You know, we actually have been winning and we've been earning it. And then Chelsea up against Nottingham Forest. Oh my God! Now that game is going to be the game to look out for because Nottingham Forest, they want to go to the Champions League. I mean, getting to this point, I don't think, well, I don't know, but if we were to say it on papers, I would say maybe next season they might not even be at this position. You know, there's just these things that happen in different seasons, and it's like a certain club just wakes up. You know, we've had it like the likes of Leicester City, you know, one like a one-season wonder of a team, you know, and then the next season you don't see them anywhere. So they get into this point where they are right now. I feel like they would want to maintain it. They would want to prove that, oh my gosh, we have this. And they would want to do it, if not for anything, but for their man, Taiwo Awoniyi. You know, just to still, give him that, hey, we can go, and he's cheering them up and all of that. But Chelsea, on the other hand, they really do need this. I was actually talking with someone the other day, and I said it's not fair on, some teams. I mean, if you win the Conference League, they would have still allowed you to even, get to the Champions League. You
don't jump from primary school to university. It doesn't work that way.
I saw that coming. But then Chelsea have to do everything possible to actually win this, because if they go ahead to win the Conference League without qualifying for the Champions League, I don't think the fans will be happy. Chelsea has a very huge fan base who are very demanding, who wants the team to always be at its best every season in, season out. You have to be there. And another point for Chelsea to actually take is that they have to be in the Champions League to even they've been clamoring for top strikers in the world, the likes of Osimhen, they mentioned Gyökeres and a whole lot of them. So many fans wanting them to sign high-profile strikers. If they don't get to the Champions League, how will these players be attracted to them? Or how will they attract these players, depending on how the case may be? So I feel like Chelsea really, really needs this more than Nottingham Forest. Yes, Nottingham Forest needs it, but I mean, in the minds of Chelsea players and the fans, they really want this more than
just
Nottingham
quickly,
Forest.
there's something we normally do on the show, predictions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who would you see making it top 5? Just give us your top 5.
Top 5. Already there is Liverpool who's out there.
No, leaving out Liverpool and Arsenal.
Okay.
Let's just mention 4th and 5th, because I think the others have sealed it in whatever order. Liverpool are first, Arsenal and Man City second and third, or you could switch.
What if Fulham pulls a shocker and wins Manchester City?
Because if Man City lose, Chelsea or Newcastle could finish in third.
Well,
leave out them. So
you have a point. You have a point.
And you know how the last games of the season always turns out.
Yeah.
So let's just have it from 3rd to 5th.
Okay.
From 3rd to 5th. Well, I would say on paper, anyways, I would say Manchester City actually beating Fulham and taking on the 3rd place.
Okay.
And then it's dicey, but I mean, let's just do it for the sake of for peace to reign. I can see Chelsea actually coming out 4th, and then
Newcastle 5th.
Newcastle United 5th. That's how it should be.
Okay. Simply, Man City need a point, but we'll go for 3 points. They just need a point because they have a vastly superior goal difference to the others. They do. So they need a point. That will give them 69 points. The best Chelsea, Newcastle United, and Aston Villa can get is 69 points. But Man City have a considerably higher goal difference, which is why I think they're in the safe zone too. They will just make sure they do not lose against Fulham, even though the Pep Guardiola I know will press for a win, and they'll probably get that win. So in my own opinion, Liverpool first, Arsenal second, Man City third. I think Chelsea will peep every other person to that fourth spot. Then fifth might just be Newcastle United. It might just be. I think Nottingham Forest will narrowly miss out. I feel so.
I think this is the first time we have the same predictions for a long time because I do see it the same way. Man City third, Chelsea fourth, and Newcastle fifth.
Okay, beautiful. So that's good. So congratulations to them in advance, those who go through. And we'll go very, very swiftly right now to Italy, the Italian Serie A, and Napoli, the Neapolitan side, are champions of Italy. I almost said Spain. Champions of Italy. And of course, the second time they've won it in three seasons, the Scudetto. They won their fourth Scudetto in total. And that also makes Antonio Conte make history. Thanks to goals scored by McTominay and then, of course, Romelu Lukaku. The result between Inter and Como, Fabregas Como, a 2-0 win against 10-man Como, which had, of course, Pepe Reina sent off in the first half, just stroke of halftime. It was not enough because that's all they needed to do. They needed to win their game and then better the result, match the result of Inter, and that's exactly what they did. And now Antonio Conte has won his 10th Serie A medal, 5 as a player during his Juve days and 5 as a manager. He won 3 with Juventus, 3 consecutive with Juventus. He won 1 with Inter, and now he's won 1 with Napoli. And that makes him the first manager in history to win the Scudetto with 3 different clubs. Yeah, I know Capello will be unhappy about that, but it's nobody's fault. Calciopoli scandal cost it because Fabio Capello won it with Roma, AS Roma, AC Milan, and then Juventus. But because of the Calciopoli scandal, his titles in 2005 and 2006 were scrapped off. So, I mean, congratulations to Antonio Conte. And he's my birthday mate, so, I mean, that makes it even better. July 31st. Yay!
Yeah, congratulations. I think one man I'm very happy for in that Napoli side is actually Scott McTominay.
The guy entered one chance. He got out of one chance.
Yeah, because it looks like this guy was actually at a point in Manchester United where it seems all odds were against him, and we were actually seeing him do the job. But for some reason, Manchester United decided to, throw him away to Napoli. And going to Napoli, he's been banging goals after goals. And he's also the player of the season as well. It's such an incredible fit for him. I think Manchester United fans will be looking and say, like, what have we done?
So one quick question.
In
the head of McTominay, thank God I left United. Is that the thoughts he'll be having? Given the seasons the two teams have had?
In the head of McTominay, he's looking at Sunday, Thanksgiving service. So I think that's very, very clear. That's what will happen.
And it's not like, I don't know, Manchester United, it's like these players leave and they go ahead to win title. Now look at, what's his name? Anthony. He's in the Conference League final as well. Even if he doesn't win, he's a runner-up. At least he earned something. Yeah, even though Manchester United fans will say, we still play Europa final, because that's been the argument with some of their fans.
But by the end of the day, I mean, like I joked with somebody, I said that Anthony, what Real Betis have is Anthony. Well, what Man United was unique man. So those who live in Lagos know what I'm talking about. So, but really, I mean, big congratulations to Antonio Conte and Napoli. It's a good thing. So we'll see how the Serie A pans out next season. Because of time, we're moving very, very swiftly, of course, to the UEFA Women's Champions League. And it's tonight. What's the time again? 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Where the Arsenal ladies are up against Barcelona ladies. The two losing semi-finalists, males, have their females trying to salvage pride for both genders. I mean, come on, this is pretty much what it's all about.
You couldn't write a better script.
No, you couldn't. No, definitely. Couldn't. So it's a big one. I think. Okay, first of all, just prediction because of
Barcelona are straight winners.
I expected that from you. Now, what else? But let's not forget that Arsenal Football Club. Okay, 5 p.m. I beg your pardon. I was just 5 p.m. So that match is not too far from now. Make plans to watch, and then those who you can actually invest in hankies. And those who have white paper. Your white paper is not absorbent enough for the tiers, premium tiers that will flow. But you see that there is going to happen tonight by 5 p.m., this evening by 5 p.m. Arsenal Football Club for the ladies against Barcelona Football Club for the ladies. And that's going to happen. Then, of course, we have to say a big congratulations to Tottenham Hotspur. I almost called them the pride of London, and I pinched myself. They are not the pride of London. They happen to do something proud in London. Let's put it that way. They are the champions of Europa League, and that justifies the statement of Ange Postecoglou, the big Australian, the
First set of
60-year-old,
kings reigning.
he always wins a title in his second season.
Big
And,
statement
just a big congratulations. Nothing more to say about that. So finally, we've seen the armpits of Son Heung-min. We're wondering when we're going to see the armpits of a Spurs player, a Spurs captain, lifting up the trophy. But I mean, here we are. They've won the trophy. And I know that the red half of North London is going to be stewing. Yeah, fuming and stewing. But no, that's by the way. We're going to go on a very, very quick break, and then we'll give you the last points when we return. Don't touch that dial. The final leg of the Afia Sports Show, Home of Sports on Afia TV, and of course also being a simulcast on Afia Radio 99.3 FM, and then of course the frequencies that you're seeing there on TV, 254 channel 254 DSTV, channel 17 Go TV, channel 748 Free TV, and this is the final lap. I'm here with the guys, Choko the Dark Child and Emeka Maduka. We've given you all sorts of sports news, but it's always fitting that we wave a big goodbye to legends of the game, whichever game, whether it's football, Jogo Bonita like Pele, we'll call it, or any other game. And one of the legends of the game has announced that he's retiring, or he's leaving, not retiring, his words were leaving his club that he's been with for 13 years, since the year 2012, when Tottenham Hotspur released him, the same Tottenham we talked about before moving. They sold him, Daniel Levy sold him to Real Madrid. And we're talking about the maestro, the Croatian pocket-sized dynamo, referring to Luka Modric, the captain of the Croatian national side, Luka Modric. He is leaving Real Madrid after the Club World Cup. He's going to leave Real Madrid. A servant of the club. Gracias, Luka. I mean, it's fitting to just say that. Big thank you to Luka Modric, one of a few men that has won 6 European Cups or Champions League titles with any team at all. He's achieved a lot. He's one of the major reasons Madrid have been dominant, especially in that midfield. And he's the Ballon d'Or winner. Let's not forget, he's the one that broke the Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi duopoly of the Ballon d'Or, FIFA Ballon d'Or title. So, what do you have to say about this man who turned 40 in October?
I mean, his work says it all for him. He's a maestro. He has done it all. He has been there. He has won titles, not just Champions League, La Ligas, Copa del Rey. I mean, he's a serial winner. The man that meets the legend. Yeah. 28 trophies.
28 major trophies for Real Madrid. And funnily enough, you look at them in Madrid's history, he has the most trophies, 28 trophies. Then, of course, Nacho Fernandez is the one that has 27 trophies. No, sorry, that Carvajal, I beg your pardon. Nacho is the one that has 26 trophies. And then Marcelo, the left back, with 25 trophies. And then Karim Benzema with 25 trophies. This is a Hall of Fame.
And he's even done it in lesser years
than
every other player there.
Yes, he's done that. Well, Luka Modric is just a legend, and we have to give him the props that he deserves. And we wish him all the best. I want to assume, I could be wrong, but I want to assume that he's going for retirement football. Retirement football in Saudi Arabia. I think they'll go for him. I feel that they'll go for him and he'll end his career. Please, Luka Modric, don't go back to Dinamo Zagreb for now. Don't. Go and chop your money, collect some small money in Saudi Arabia, and then you can go back to Dinamo Zagreb and then retire in your native Croatia. That's been the size of the package. Thank you very much. I think it's been a very wonderful one there. We'll do this again next week, Saturday. We're going to, that's the 31st, the last day. Yes, don't miss it, because that day is the Champions League final, the UEFA Champions League men's final, where Paris Saint-Germain will be playing against Internazionale to see who's going to take home the big old ears. And it's going to be a massive one. We'll be here, there. You can also listen to us on radio during the simulcast. Thank you very much for being with us today. And of course, I want to say a big thank you to Choko the Dark Child. You've seen that Choko is not just local. Choko is a jack of all trades and master of most, especially in the sporting area. So, big ups to you, Choko. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me as well.
Yeah, and then of course the priest of football himself, Emeka Maduka, who I won't say you missed your calling in life, but he did well for yourself.
I have been getting my predictions correct so far.
You've tried. I have to just say you've tried. I'll give you small props. Just give you some flowers, but there's some thorns by the side. Anyway, that notwithstanding, thank you very much for giving us access into your sitting rooms, your living rooms, and then being part of our chit chat and our banter and our discussion concerning sports. We're going to do this again next Saturday. In the meantime, I'm CC the Rabbi.
And I'm Emeka Madokoyeke, Pistol Football, saying goodbye.
Have a wonderful weekend.